Afternoon, guys. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you're all doing well. It's the West Ham versus Spurs preview. Takes place tomorrow at 12 o'clock, I think, on Sky Sports News. I'm joined by a couple of West Ham fans. Big game, big game tomorrow, guys. Mike and Phil, how are you?
Yeah, fine,
good,
mate.
thank you.
Good. Right. So before we do get into it, we've got a few Spurs fans waiting in the wings, but we'll start with you. We'll keep it bearable. All right. So we'll start with you, Mike. Have you got confidence going into tomorrow?
Not total confidence. Well, I've never got total confidence, full stop. But yeah, as confident as we can be in the for this game.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think really we can have full confidence because Phil, we went and we sat back against Spurs last time, and we know how that turned out, didn't we?
Yeah, well, very lucky though. That last 8-10 minutes when we clawed it back. But
yeah,
hopefully we'll be really up for it this time round. Whether Antonio starts or not, it's a different matter. But if we just go there with full confidence, just go for it. Who knows what'll happen?
Yeah. Right then. So let's get some Spurs fans on then. First, we've got if my thing will load, there we go. Rich, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
I'm good. We've got we got Jamie as well. Jamie, you good?
Hi Jake, hi everyone, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. And finally, we've also got another Spurs fan. It's Sean. Sean, how are you?
Oh yeah, hi lads. Yeah, good, thanks.
Good. Right, so last time these two teams met, we're going to give a bit of a recap because I know some of you would have kind of forgotten what's happened. So here's a recap what happened last time out. Any thoughts on that?
Lots of
Speechless.
Thoughts,
there we go.
Plenty of thoughts on that.
There we go. Right, let's get into it then. So Rich, we'll come to you. Are you confident for tomorrow's game for the firing hot West Ham United at the moment?
No, never confident, and even less so the way the season's been going. I think we started so well, and it was almost after the West Ham game we seemed to change our way of playing completely, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Jamie, come on then, Spurs. In terms of Spurs, you've had a bit of a blip lately, really, haven't you?
Yeah, it's turning into a half-season blip, but it's definitely changed. You think the last couple of times we've had a chat? Well, I think the first time we were top of the league, looking at pushing for definite top four and trying to join or stay in the title race. Now we're definitely searching for form, but I think tomorrow we get back to normal business. Easy 3-0 win, back to business, Jake.
In your dreams.
Sean, what do you think's gone wrong in the last few weeks? Because
the dreams are 5.
Well, because you were sitting top of the league. All Spurs fans were saying you're going to win the league in November, and then we come back and you're now sat in 9th position.
Yeah.
What do you think has gone wrong, Sean?
I think it was just mentioned previous about, and you West Ham fans might love this. After the collapse in the West Ham game, I think it sort of opened Jose's eyes how poor the defence is, and since that we've sort of gone into ourselves very negative in midfield. It's just the midfield's negative. We don't attack as much, and I think he genuinely doesn't trust the defence. So I think that is the main concern, and I think our nickname this season has been Individual Mistake FC. We literally give goals to other teams. We fall over and concede penalties, own goals. Lloris may chuck a couple in. Nearly every single goal we concede is by a calamity. Not necessarily because we've been played off the park, if that makes sense.
Yeah. A question's just come in. We'll give this to you, Rich. Is Jose the man for you?
So now, I'm not convinced at the moment. I'm not convinced he'll be or want to be there too long. I think we were spoiled under Pochettino. He played good attacking football. All right, we didn't win anything, but he got us to a European Cup final. And we've gone from playing good attacking football to playing very, very negative football, and I just hate to see the ball sort of get into the top third of the pitch and then find us giving it back to our goalkeeper. And I think that's what we could do far too often.
Yeah. Well, in terms of West Ham, then Phil, will come to you. I mean, well, let's just the elephant in the room. The sources have come out and said that he's hopefully going to be fit. He is fit. Some people are saying different things, but Phil, do you think that Antonio will feature tomorrow?
He'll feature. I don't know if he'll start because he might always be like, it worked at, against Sheffield United the way we played with no recognised striker. But I think he'll either start or he'll be on the bench. But it's hard to say. All I want to see is us really giving it a go and just play attacking. If we're gonna just sort of play like how we set up, like how we did against United or Liverpool, then forget it.
Yeah. Hugo, you're there. As a Spurs fan, are you confident for tomorrow?
Yes.
Who's going to score, do you reckon, for Spurs?
Toby Alderweireld.
Toby.
What's the
Doubt
score
he'll
going
play
to
him.
be? Do you think?
Pardon?
What do you think the score's going to be?
5-0 up.
Oh,
Is that West Ham?
West Ham, yeah. West Ham. Thanks, mate.
5-0 Alderweireld hat-trick.
Oh, that's optimistic. Mike, if we come back to you, do you think that Antonio will feature tomorrow? If not, do you think we'll go what we did in our last game and go with Lingard as the false 9?
Yeah, no, I think we should keep him on the bench, like Phil said. I think just keep him up our sleeve, really. He's caused problems against Tottenham before. It'd be great to bring him on. We know that's their weak point, their defence. I mean, to be totally honest, for the first time in a long time, totally honest, I wouldn't take anyone out of Tottenham's team and swap them with any of our players other than Kane and Son. That is the only two players. I reckon the rest of our team is better than their team. Because Højbjerg is a good player. He is. But Rice is better than him.
Yeah.
Souček is a better defensive midfielder than anyone else they've got. I don't think they've got anyone else. I wouldn't mind them for backup, in the squad depth. But there's no one else in that team I'd take and swap for the players that we got.
Oh, I've got an answer to that one.
Well,
Go on, then.
yeah, it might be that Don Boleyn, might be on about him. He's not a bad player, but
Sorry to put in. I think I sort of agree with you, really. If you obviously football's played on grass, not on paper. If you take a team on paper, I probably only take one West Ham player before the start of the season in the team.
Yeah, probably.
But we underperform absolutely everywhere. I rate Rice. Højbjerg has been outstanding, probably one of the signings of the season in the Premier League. He has been outstanding. I take your goalkeeper now. I think Lloris is done. I think when we've got Reguilon fit, which he's not, I think he's slightly better than Cresswell, who also I think is good. You can have anyone at right back you want. We're useless there.
No, we're all right.
Yeah, we're all right.
We're
Yeah.
all right for a right
Our
back.
centre backs have had it. And Dombele can be world class when he's got his boots on. He might only last half an hour. He might last an hour. It's a strange one. Tottenham are sort of all over the place. I think, to be honest, it is now time for Dele and Bale to be starting in the Premier League side. I think we've reached that point now.
I'd like to address this comment and Dombele over Souček, surely. Now,
Surely not.
He's a
I'd just like to,
depends what you get.
I'd just like to say, find me a better goal-scoring central defensive midfielder in the league, and we'll leave it there. Jamie, if we come back to you, how do you think the game's going to pan out tomorrow? Because it's at the London Stadium. How do you think it's going to go?
I don't know. Again, I think it's a really tough one. Yeah, I think, if you look at Spurs, probably our last two games away in Europe and then Everton as well. If you look at those two games, we're scoring freely, but it's just hard to know, and that's part of the frustration this year. I don't know what sort of Spurs team's going to turn up. I think if we sit back and play like we did in and around Christmas, I don't know. It could be a pretty boring. Probably go for a draw, but if he tries to let Son and Kane, loose, and we try and play some attacking football, it could be a bit of a goal fest. I can't call it tomorrow. I've got no idea how it's going to go. It could be 3-0 to you, 3-0 to us, 3-3. I don't know.
Well, there's one thing. If there's any 3-0 in the scoreline, we'll bring it back. Don't worry. Gatesy, thanks for joining. Iron's official. Thank you for coming on. WMP, hello. Adam from Football Brownie. Hi, Jake and the panel. Hope you're well and good luck with the derby. Thank you very much. Definitely agree with that. More going no before West Ham game. Gone back to boring Jose. Robert says hopefully for a win, settle for a draw. Dreading a loss. Yeah, I know, right? Gary, morning, Howard, AJ. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you for joining us. Right, a question. Gatesy says, Spurs fans, if you were offered top 6, not necessarily top 4 at the start of the season, would you have been happy with that outcome? Jamie, I'll come to you.
At the start of the season, no, I think, again, and the conversation we've had, we were looking at top 4 and pushing on again. I think top 6 would have been, right now, I'd take it. But at the start of the season, I think we were looking for better than that with the squad that we've got as well. But now I would definitely take top 6 the way we've been playing, but not at the start of the season.
Yeah. Sean, what do you think about that? Would you top 6 at the start of the season?
Definitely not. I don't want to sound miserable, but I don't think the Premier League's that high a standard this year. Whether it's the coronavirus and how it's messed everything up, it's not very good. You probably all watch as many games as I do, and there's probably a little bit of overkill, but the standard isn't that high. But even so, I think at the start of the season, most Spurs fans thought top 3. I think maybe we didn't see the collapse in some of the players, maybe getting old and not quite as good as we hoped. And maybe Dele going off and Bale not hitting the ground running. I think no Spurs fans seen that coming. But now, besides the club that Tottenham are, especially off the field, how they're growing and big, top 6 isn't good enough. Europa League isn't good enough. They've got themselves set around to be a Champions League club. We had it 4 years in a row, and that's probably spoilt a little bit. But Daniel Levy, the chairman, he was happy with 5th or 6th. Any coach going to that club now finishing outside the top 4 is under threat. And there'll be some massive clubs missing out on top 4. I'm not daft. There will be 2 or 3 huge ones missing out. But it will probably be Tottenham. I don't see us making it there.
Yeah. Mike, who do you fear? Let's apart from Kane and Son, who else in that side do you think can cause us problems, if there's any?
Dombele, I think he's a good player. I think Tottenham have played him more defensively recently than more at the park. So I think that Tottenham, that's what they're missing, is a link up. A decent attacking midfielder. Whereas we've probably got 3 or 4 of them at the moment. But like I said all along, Son and Kane are the ones that you've got to fear them, haven't you? They're probably 2 of the best, around. And they do link up so well. Kane drops off in that number 10 position, picks the ball up, finds Son with regularity. They do it so well. But like Phil was saying, I'd just be upset if we don't go and have a go, because the Liverpool game, we didn't have a go. They were there for the taking. The Man United game, we didn't have a go. They were there for the taking. We sat back and we let them in the game. The most important thing for us is, and let's face it, we've got to enjoy it, haven't we? We've got 42 points. We're safe already. The pressure's not on us. The pressure's all on Tottenham. Full stop. Let's just get out there and give it a go, and then I'll be happy, even if we lost 2-1 or whatever. But if we give them a real good go at it.
Yeah. Phil, who do you fear from that side? I mean, let's just cut to the point. Kane and Son, they're gonna be the kind of, if we sit back, we're gonna be in trouble, I think.
Yeah. Well, obviously, and Dombele's obviously a good shout. But to be honest, right, just because it's us, I know he's been really poor this season, but Gareth Bale, I remember the last time when he played against us at home, when he scored the winning goal back in
it's green, wasn't
2013.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've just got that feeling that he'll just do the performance of his life tomorrow if he plays,
Yeah.
just because it's us.
Yeah. Sean, who are you fearing from the mighty West Ham side?
I think I've always thought West Ham were a different animal when Antonio played. I think he is a proper handful. But I think Cresswell on your left, has he got 6 assists from mainly crossing the ball in the box? Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
He'd be a risk to us because we're not, like I said, as you know, at the back we're not great. And defending, does he take your set pieces as well, like whipping them in?
Some of them, yeah.
That's Spurs' weak link. I think we conceded about 10 goals from set pieces.
Yeah.
So it's more Cresswell and Antonio, I do fear them, but it is more a case of if you aim for the right areas to score, that is our own enemy at some point times. Do you know what I mean? So box it, chance.
Yeah. Phil and Mike, there isn't a preview that goes by without somebody mentioning Craig Dawson, so I've got to do it today. So there he is. He's got his mention. He hasn't had enough time to join the show today, but he's just come in and said hello. So Craig Dawson, I mean, you say, Jamie, we'll come back to you. You say that you're not the best at defending set pieces. I think that could worry you against West Ham, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, like Sean said earlier, I'm not. It's perhaps not someone I fear from West Ham. It's more I fear what we're going to do. We've gone into so many of these big games and just, I say, giving away a penalty early on when you want to keep it tight against City, or mistakes at the back. We've just had so many. So, but yeah, and you mentioned him as well, Souček. Same as red card didn't stay. He's been a threat as well. So it can come from anywhere. We've just got those silly mistakes in us, and I think someone else mentioned as well, at right back we're very weak. If Aurier's playing, he's always got something in him. So yeah, I just love us to have a clean sheet tomorrow and start building again from the back. We've got the firepower, and like say, Boleyn, Bell, Son, Kane, any one of those could score goals, but we just give away so many poor goals at the moment.
Yeah. Right, we're just gonna have a few kind of images put up, and then I'm gonna just put kind of a 1-minute video clip up. But considering, all that Spurs fans are on about, this is their FA Cup final, this is their cup final. So there you go. It's the big day. And I've been looking back, Spurs fans, Jamie and Sean, I've been looking back at kind of games throughout the years, and I did come across this as well.
Oh hey, I remember that.
We had to have the lasagna.
Lasagna gate.
Lasagna.
Oh, I thought you'd like that. Right, shortly put a video clip up. Hugo, we'll come to you. Who do you think is going to be the best player for West Ham tomorrow?
Declan Rice.
Declan Rice, there you go. Very, very good. Right, so we'll be back very, very shortly to put predictions and all of that cool stuff. Pretty much it's going to be 3-0 West Ham, 3-0 West Ham, 3-0 West Ham, 3-0 West Ham. There you go. But please check out Canning Town Len using the link in the description. Canning Town Len is your best place to buy custom portraits that you can buy on the internet. Canning Town Len does animated portraits like this one he did for me up here. They're absolutely fantastic, and I couldn't recommend them enough. So just some ones that he did for me. I've got this one here outside the London Stadium. I mean, it looks just like me, really. The best possible kind of animated portrait, kind of animated cartoon kind of picture I could hope for, really. They're absolutely amazing, and they are so realistic, look exactly like me, and they are very good to buy. So make sure you do click the link in the description down below to buy a portrait from Canning Town Len. I'd highly recommend them. Click the link in the description down below. He does animated portraits, non-West Ham related, West Ham related, lots of different backgrounds, any shirt, any background. You can basically customize it to your absolute kind of needs and what you exactly want. So click the link in the description down below to check out Canning Town Lane. Come on, your Irons. As I said there, check it out using the link in the description down below. Right then, so just before we do go on to predictions then, West Ham fans are going to come to you, Mike, I'll come to you. Do you think the midfield is going to be the most vital thing tomorrow?
Yeah. I don't know how he's going to set up, where he's going to go with the 5 at the back. Makes a little bit of difference to the midfield. But, yeah, a game could be won and lost in there. I think it'd be a real cagey game. You know, I think Tottenham need, you know, they need to be pretty safe in there. I think can't see them being really attacking from midfield. It's not the way Jose does, is it? Really. So yeah, I think it's going to be a tight one. It really is going to be a tight game.
Yeah, I think it will be too. But Phil, if we come to you, I think that do you think that Rice and Souček should, you know, have the upper hand in midfield?
I should hope so. If they're on their A game, then I don't see why not. But obviously, you know, Tottenham midfield, they're still pretty good. So whoever wins the battle in the midfield will have control of the game.
Yeah. So Mike mentioned it about formations. Sean, how will Spurs line up, do you think, tomorrow? Back 4, back 5, how do you think they'll go?
Jose has tinkered with both a little bit. Mentioning the midfield battle, I think also that could be key. Jose, he likes to go a little bit negative in there. Like, we've got Højbjerg, who's been outstanding. I wouldn't swap him for anyone. And Boleyn, like was mentioned earlier, he hasn't been playing him deep. He's been playing him sort of almost like a number 10, and he's usually thrown in like a Sissoko or a Winks. Well, not many Spurs fans will rate either of those two at the moment. They're almost sort of nothing sort of players. Sissoko's making lots of mistakes. So if he goes negative in that way, that sort of sets the standard from the off. I think it's time, based on a few cameos, is to drop the Dombele a bit deeper, because he's brilliant on the ball. I think he's got more take-ons completed in the Premier League than anyone all season. And then I'd be having Dele Alli in front of them. That's what I would do. But knowing Jose, he will probably go with Sissoko, who conceded a penalty in Europe in the midweek. I think that's 4 games in a row we've conceded a penalty as well. So that tells you what our defending's like. But I can see being a bit negative, yeah.
Well, you know, we're on a penalty roll now. We got 2. We got 2 in the last week. You know, one of them didn't count. We didn't get one for about 20 games, but we got 2 in. We got 2 in 2 games. So you know,
like London buses.
Yeah, I know. So Jamie, then, do you agree with Sean's with what Sean's just said there?
Yeah, definitely. Especially mentioning Winks. I think in the past he's looked like he's got potential, but he's been awful this year. Some of his mistakes. So I definitely go. I think the same. Højbjerg has been phenomenal for us, and he just mixes it up a bit if Boleyn can get on the ball. But yeah, it'd be nice to. I don't really know what's been going on with Ali and Bell behind the scenes, so I just don't want us to really sit in and sit back. I think we've got to get on that ball. Sometimes Lamela can mix that up a little bit as well, but it sounds like Kane's going to come in and start. So it's just, try and win those midfield battles. It'll be interesting who else he puts in there. I hope as well it's not Winks or Sissoko.
Yeah. Right, let's take a few comments and then we'll go to predictions. But before we do that though, just in terms of West Ham then, Mike, what do you think Moyes is going to do kind of with the backline formations wise? Do you think that he'll go with do you think back 4, back 5, Ben Johnson, Ryan Fredericks? There's lots of options there, isn't there?
I think he'll go with a back 5 again. That's what I think he'll do, because Johnson, he looked really good. And he doesn't deserve to be dropped. And I think the only way, and I think Creswell looks better in the middle of the back 3. Sufel, the other wing back. Yeah, I think he's going to go with a back 5 again. And I hope he brings Ben Rama into midfield in front of in front of Rice and Souček. And I think that's our best lineup then, with Lindegaard and Bowen. I think that's what he's going to go for. I hope he does. He gave Lanzini a start in the last game, but I think he'll bring Ben Rama in for this one.
Yeah, Phil, in terms of attacking wise, there is options there as well. I mean, I think Lingard and Ben Rama for me have to start. I think those two linked up superbly against Aston Villa. Who else kind of leads the line with them? If Antonio's not fit or if he is fit.
To be honest with you, I'm happy with the formation. If we played the same formation, and the only change I would do in that team personally would be Ben Rama starting over Lanzini. So you'd have Ben Rama and Lingard
And Bowen.
and
Yeah.
somebody else in it. Give me someone. Fornals.
He had played Fornals. He left Fornals out for the last game, and I wouldn't be surprised if I bring him in because he works hard, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Right, then let's take a few comments and then we'll go predictions. Neil says Spurs fans must be dreaming of finishing above us this year. That's the best they can hope for now. and we have to collapse for that to happen. Yeah, I mean, this kindly leads on to what I've got in the back. I mean, just to remind you, what is it, 36-42, 6 points adrift of the mighty West Ham Spurs are. So there you go. Just had to mention it, didn't I? I had to mention it. No, it's a shame you can't show the Lanzini goal. Oh, I know that would have been quality, wouldn't it? Right then, let's go to predictions then. So let's go to Spurs first. Let's get those. Let's just get those weird predictions out of the way first. Sean, will come to you then. In terms of Sunday, this is going to be delusional, but come on, tell me your prediction.
I think it's going to be similar to the game early in the season. I'm usually negative, but I'm going to go for a 3-2 win. But wouldn't surprise me if it's a high scoring draw in the slightest.
Yeah, Jamie.
Yeah, I, like I said earlier, it's hard to call. I wouldn't be surprised. I think we've got a bit of our goal scoring form back, but I'm going to go a bit tight tomorrow. I think we're going to win 2-1.
And Hugo, are you sticking to your 5-0?
Still 5-0 for tomorrow. Yeah.
Right then, let's get some proper predictions in. Mike, we'll come to you first. I'll tell you what. I'll do mine first because you always nick mine.
Oh, I was taking it, Jake.
Well, to be fair, I think 3-2 could be a possibility, but I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham. Mike, I hope I ain't stole your prediction.
You have stole my prediction.
Yeah, make that 3. Yeah, I was going for 2-1 as well.
Oh.
So that's
you
3-2-1. There we go.
2-1 and Phil?
Yeah, 2-1.
2-1. There we go. And Ben Rama to score?
Yes.
Yeah. I want him to score badly.
Yeah, we all do. Neil's going 3-1 West Ham win. I fear Son will get one apart from that relaxed win. Oh, that'd be nice. Toby's in the chat. 5-3 Irons, crikey you. We're going a bit adventurous there, Toby, mate. Everyone's saying lots of goals. 3-2 Hammers, 3-1 West Ham. I do want him to start Ben Rama. This could be his game. Yeah, it definitely could be. Right, any last thoughts from you guys at all?
Yeah.
Good game.
Good game. Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope it's a good game. Let's hope we have a crack at it.
Let's look out for that penalty.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. The cyber lead is going 7-4 West Ham now. Right, we're going to wrap things up there. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you are new. I will be back with a review after the game on Sunday. But from me, Phil, Mike, Sean, Jamie, and Hugo. Well, from us three at the top. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
There we go.
Cheers,
Thank